Hi guys, welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content about childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things to do with my experiences of going through this childhood trauma. I also share news stories and add my thoughts and commentary to them. And from time to time I interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness of this childhood abuse. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you do like the content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So in today's video guys, I want to share with you my thoughts on a program that I watched on Channel 4's YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, when this video came up on my timeline, initially I was not going to watch it because I thought it would be kind of maybe a little bit difficult to watch. And I have to admit, even watching it the first time, it was kind of like I had to kind of hold on to my chair kind of thing, because it was very difficult, I found, you know, in places to listen to. And I had to watch it a second time, and that made it a little bit easier. And the program I want to talk to you about today is called I'm a Paedophile, Not a Molester. Now, Mouse describes himself as a virtuous paedophile, meaning that yes, he's a paedophile, he fantasizes about children, but he's virtuous in the fact that he doesn't abuse them. I've never heard anybody, when they talk about paedophiles, to think how very gentlemanly of you that you, even though you fancy small children, you know, how very gentlemanly of you that you don't abuse them. I've never heard of the term virtuous paedophile. He sits down with this panel of 3 people, 2 white people, a male and a female and a mixed race lady, to share his kind of thoughts on being a paedophile. But the panel are the ones that are directing the questions. By the way, he's wearing a mask, which is kind of synonymous with his name as well, Mouse. So he's wearing a mouse mask and he's talking. So, you know, his identity in no way, shape or form can be revealed. So one of the things that Mouse first says is that he is attracted to children. He's asked the question, what kind of age group? He says 7 years old upwards. He then says that, you know, he's been attracted to children from the age of 11. Well, he says at the age of 11, he started to realise he was attracted to his peers. He was asked the question, was he sexually abused in childhood? Because that was one of my things. I was thinking, maybe he has had some kind of sexual abuse or abuse in childhood that has kind of made him the way he is. And I'm not even saying that as an excuse, because for many millions of us that have gone through sexual abuse who don't then turn around as adults to then sexually abuse children, there is a percentage of paedophiles out there who were sexually abused in their childhood that then go on to sexually abuse children. So that was my line of thinking. I was thinking, okay, maybe he was sexually abused as a child. He said he came from a very good family, but he did experience bullying in primary school, and for some reason that triggered, you know, sexual attraction to his peers. And then as he became an adult, he started to realise that he's actually sexually attracted to children. Now, the whole time he's talking about this, you can see the disbelief on the panel's face. They are thinking to themselves, what in the hell am I hearing here? You know, he's talking about it very frank, very openly. And, you know, you can see by their faces, they're shocked and they're disgusted. The lady on the panel, I'm going to leave a link to the video in the show notes. The lady on the panel has blonde and blue hair. The white lady said that she doesn't feel comfortable. If he was around, she wouldn't feel comfortable him being around her child, because he says that, you know, he's sexually attracted to children. Now, it comes to light as well during this interview, through the questioning. I'm not sure if it is the white man who asked this question, but if he's been around children, he says yes. As a matter of fact, he has put himself up as a volunteer and has volunteered and has been around children. He was then asked the question by the man on the panel, was he sexually attracted to the children that he was volunteering with? And he said yes. And I just found the whole thing to be just quite bizarre. The fact that we have somebody here who has managed to access children, he's been volunteering with them, he has admitted to being sexually attracted and excited by the children that he was volunteering and looking after. But, you know, again, you know, he's virtuous and would never think of abusing them. Paedophiles do not put themselves forward and show their face or anything like that. It's only when they are caught or discovered or arrested and then charged we then get to see their faces, but they go from place to place abusing children. Now, this is a fact. It's something that I talked about in my book, Choose Life, a piece of research that was done with paedophiles within the US penitentiary system, that on average each paedophile had at least 48 victims. So, if their faces are not shown, they can go around from place to place undetected and abuse children. The lady with the blonde hair then asked him if he has had therapy. He said that in his past he tried therapy, but he found it very difficult. It's very difficult for paedophiles to talk about their issue in therapy for fear of being exposed and whatnot. But the thing is, you see, with therapy, unless he's actually admitted to a crime, which he says that he's never done, he's never sexually abused kids or, children, the therapy is bound by patient confidentiality. So he would have been afforded the same rights as any other person in therapy to be able to talk about his issue, his attraction to children, and have been able to have probably got some kind of insight or help to deal with his issues. So he was very kind of skimmed over the whole therapy thing, didn't say what worked for him, what didn't work for him. He said he tried it, didn't feel comfortable doing it, and then kind of made a banner statement about it being very hard for paedophiles to come forward. Now, again, this is just my opinion. I think it's just totally in line with how paedophiles are. They lack accountability. Here you have somebody who said they went to therapy, had patient confidentiality, had that privilege because, as he said, he hadn't abused any children, had the space to explore his issues, and didn't take full advantage of that. Again, what came up in the conversation, which was another red flag, is that he does associate with paedophiles. He was asked the question if he has viewed child sexual abuse images. He kind of, a bit hesitant, said no. And then he was asked, does he mix with other paedophiles? He says yes, in forums. So online forums, he gets to mix with other paedophiles. He was then asked the question, do the paedophiles that you mix with view child sexual abuse images? He said, some of them do. Here is somebody who describes himself as a virtuous paedophile, yet he mixes with other paedophiles. It's only a matter of time before this guy is going to give in to those temptations. He thinks that he can control it. It's been proven time and time again that paedophiles find it very hard to overcome their own behaviour. That's why there have been studies and things to suggest castration. There's been loads of different things that have been discussed about paedophiles. I don't know what the solution for them is. I think they need deliverance. I think it's a thing where they need deep, extensive therapy. They need, I don't know. They just need God. They need the laws. I don't know. I don't know a solution for paedophiles. But the fact that you've got this paedophile here who's mixing with other paedophiles, who watch child sexual abuse images, who has put himself in situations where he's had access to children. Because remember, he's gone through the process of volunteering. He's ticked the boxes, he's applied on the form, he's gone for the interviews, he's not confessed anything to or made any disclosures about his attraction, and he's put himself in the position of being sexually attracted to children. He said, so guys, I just wanted to share this with you quickly. It's by Professor Dr. David Finkelhor. He's one of the world's top researchers into child sexual abuse. And what you're seeing on the screen is what he calls the 4 preconditions to child sexual abuse. Now, the person here at the front is the potential perpetrator, and at the other end we have the child. There are 4 barriers that a paedophile or potential paedophile has to overcome. The motivation to abuse, so the desire to abuse. Now, we know from Mouse's description he has a desire there. Overcoming internal inhibitions. Now, there are individuals out there who find the idea of sexual encounters with children arousing, but they do not act on it because internal inhibitions prevent them from doing so. So some could say that Mouse is probably struggling with this because he hasn't done it yet. Overcoming external inhibitions. Once those internal inhibitions have been overcome, like, thinking it's disgusting or reasoning it away, the individual must establish or create situations for the abuse to occur. So, as Mouse said in the video, he has put himself in positions where he's been volunteering with children. And the last one is to overcome the victim's resistance. So using bribes, gifts, threats, or building trust to break down barriers. So as we can see from what Mouse has said, he definitely has some of these barriers broken down already. And in my opinion, as I said, it's only a matter of time before he abuses a child. And also as well, a snippet from an interview that was done by the International Psychoanalytical Association with Dr. Cosmo Shania about the difference between paedophiles and non-offending paedophiles. The psychological mechanisms that underlie the experiences of non-offending paedophiles do not necessarily differ from those of other paedophiles. In some cases, the fear of social disapproval, interiorized as moral law, prevails. In some cases, the child is idolized as someone who is ready to receive and enjoy sexual attentions. In other cases, however, the child is seen as a suffering creature with whom the paedophile identifies himself, and therefore someone that he would like to protect, comfort of love through his actions, not realizing that the sexualization of emotional needs leads to an unrealistic perception of the child. It is specifically with non-offending paedophiles that the prevailing image is that of a suffering child, not loved enough, in need of care, to whom the paedophile thinks it is necessary to give an effective response, tinged with sensuality. However, if the effective response has characteristics of sexual excitement, there is not a real recognition of the child's needs, but only a distortion of them. So in Mouse's case, as he has said, he is sexually aroused by children. Therefore, there is nothing virtuous about his intentions. I think that this virtuous paedophile Mouse is well on his way to sexually abusing children. If he hasn't already, he's putting himself in danger's way. He's putting himself in danger through his addictions. He is not seeking proper therapy and sticking to it. And even though it might be difficult or uncomfortable, he's not committing himself to the process of discovering or delving deeper into why he's sexually attracted to children. As sad as it is for me to say that, you know, it's only going to be a matter of time, in my opinion. I think that it would have been more helpful to hear from survivors who are past in their journey, their type of question and how you would have responded to that. And yeah, I will leave a link in the description box below for you to check out this interview. I just, you know, was dumbfounded by it. And yeah, if it does help for people to get a little bit more insight into non-offending paedophiles, then great, but it doesn't actually solve the problem of his attraction to children. So that is it for this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.